Good evening, guys. So tonight is the time is 11, almost 11:20 p.m. here in the Philippines and a.m. in the United States, New York, Eastern Time. This is now the 16th of September, 2024. We will be reviewing what happened, the chart last Friday, because we have not reviewed it because I think that it will be better if I will just make a video to discuss about the price movement last Friday. So this is the chart of Nasdaq 100. Actually, this is the chart of CFD, not the futures chart because I because we need to pay for the actual chart for the up-to-date chart of CME on the nearest second because if we will just use this CFD, it's on time, but with the actual with the actual futures chart provided by the CME, uh, it is delayed by up to 10 minutes. So we will not be we cannot monitor the chart real time. So it needs payment. That's why. So this is the daily chart of Nasdaq 100 CFD. So uh, last Friday, uh, last week, we are concerned about reaching the equal highs here in here, equal highs, this highs, this one here and high 19629, 19635. This is higher, so okay. 19635.35. Okay, we write 19635.35. Is it correct? Point 35. 635.35. 19635.35. Okay. This is equal highs. This is the equal highs. It means that it is also a buy side. Buy side liquidity. That's right. So this is the chart last Friday. It failed to reach this area here which is the equal highs or the buy side liquidity. So last week we also have marked up it in here first, waiting for the price to overcome this fair value gap, high, uh, daily fair value gap high, and it did it did uh, pass this price higher than the daily fair value gap high, and it closed above the daily fair value gap high. So it means that there's a big chance that the price would still reach these equal highs in here, right? So, and then next thing is this week has been a series of bullish candle from here, 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 here up to this Friday candle. So these are 5 bullish or green candles. So means that we formed a fair value gaps in here and in here. These are daily fair value gaps. Daily fair value gaps. This area, this area are possible areas where the price could retrace back before going to the buy side liquidity. Actually, this is the this is the candle for today, Monday. But last week, as I have analyzed this prior to this recording, I already have stated that uh, prior to reaching the equal highs in here, it could it could reach it could retrace back into this daily fair value gaps. And as you can see for today, this candle here for the Monday reached the low of this fair value gap. Actually, the low of this fair value gap is 18523.39 and low 89 no high 19268.5 low 19270.35. A little bit short, but still it almost reached that part. So now our analysis is for Friday and not for today, not for Monday. So let's go to the 4-hour chart. Actually, we also have opened the chart for this for the S&P 500. So still, this is the future charts, but I think this is still a 30. Yeah, this is still a this is still a what you call this a this is not the futures chart. I think this is still a CFD chart. This is still a CFD chart. So we also have opened the chart for the S&P to check the correlation between the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100. So also last Friday. So in you see, you have already drawn it up here. So together with that, we could also draw this in the S&P 500 chart. So the high here is 5668.53, 5668.85. So this one is higher, but these are still relative equal highs, right? Relative equal highs. Rates 5668.73, 5668.73, 5668.73, and this is equal highs slash buy side liquidity. That's right. Okay. So last Friday, yes, last Friday again. This is also the low, the low, or no, this is also the daily fair value gap high for this one, which is the low 5637.73, 73, 5637.73. Uh-huh. Daily FVG high. So this is also the high of a daily FVG. As you can see, last Friday we did not close above this fair value gap high for the S&P, whereas in the Nasdaq daily we closed above the fair value gap high. That's right. So we go back to Nasdaq 100 and we go to the 4-hour chart. So in the 4-hour chart, let's label it. So hindi tayo mawala. Actually, we go to the early chart so we can label it accurately. Label it up to here, 1600. And the start of the day. The start of the day. Yeah, this is true. And this one. It's just so. So this is the hourly chart for the Friday. So we move back to the 4-hour chart. So last Thursday, last Thursday, we are anticipating that because of the because of the displacement fair value up here, because of the FVGs present in here, it's possible that the price would retrace back into these areas before going higher. Before going higher. And we are right because as you can see, before the price make a displacement, before the price make a displacement is high, it retraced back on the upper half of this fair value gap. So as you can see, we will put the gun box, no, fair value, retracement in here. So yeah, this is a this is the fair value gap created in the 4-hour time frame chart, and as you can see, the no, it's reverse. I think it's reverse. Here. So as we can see, the during this time, the price retraced back into this fair value gap, but we can infer that it is a bullish movement because the price closed above this fair value gap. It just touched on the upper the in the uppermost quadrant, and it did not close inside of it. So it closed outside of it, as you can see. So since it closed outside of it, we can infer that the price still will go bullish. The price will still go up. So moving on to the 1-hour time frame. Moving on to the 1-hour time frame, we can see in here. Oops, Control Z. It's right here. So in the 1-hour time frame, as we can see, this is still a 4-hour 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 fair value gap. This is still a 4-hour fair value gap. I think we need to label it 4-hour FVG. So in the this is the 4-hour FVG. We go back in here. As you can see, this is a 4-hour FVG. So we go back again to the 1 hour. That's right. This is the 4-hour FVG. As we can see, this is the week. This is the week that only touched the uppermost quadrant of the 4-hour FVG. This is it. So it failed. It failed. it even failed to close inside of this fair value gap. So uh, we can already infer that last Thursday, I think we label it here. So at yeah 0900 hours. So after this one, it's 900 hours. So this is the bullish movement, and possibly in this area here we could target the daily FVG high. So moving on to the 15-minute time frame. So I think it's it's okay. It's okay to delete this one and delete this fair value up here because we will be focusing on this fair value up here. So on the 15-minute time frame, as you can see here, I don't think is this it. Oh, why? Okay. The fifth 1 hour. Oops. Okay. Nawala tayo dun ah. Okay. Sorry. So, we draw it back in here. Okay. It's right. So, we go to 15 minutes. So, this is it. Oh, this is not. So, okay. So, this is this is the 4-hour fair value gap that we have drawn. So, as we can see, the price only reached the upper quadrant of this 4-hour fair value gap, and it and it closed outside outside of this fair value gap. So in this 4-hour quadrant, we can also draw another in this 4-hour fair value gap. We can also draw another fair value gap in here, a smaller fair value gap. This in here, yeah, from the daily time frame, and then we draw a fair value gap, and then on the 4-hour time frame, we also draw another fair value gap, and then on the 15-minute time frame, we also draw another fair value gap. And as you can notice, this fair value gap that we have drawn on the 4-hour time frame, this 4-hour time frame, okay, can't listen in here. This fair value gap that we have drawn in the 15-minute time frame is inside the fair value gap in the 4-hour time frame. So what 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 would you call that? What would you call that? Can you remember? Uh, is it called? It is called the uh, fractals. Yes, fractals. Fractals happen because what happens in the higher time frame is also happening in the lower time frame. So as you can see, we have a daily fair value gap. We have a 4-hour fair value gap, I mean, sorry. And then we also draw a 15-minute fair value gap that is inside the 4-hour fair value gap. So now the question, is the 4-hour fair value gap respecting the uh, if the is the 15-minute fair value gap respected, because we can already see that the 4-hour fair value gap is respected. It did not go past through it. The body did not go past through it. Is the 15-minute fair value gap respected? Yes or no? Of course, yes, the body already passed through it, but the body closed outside this, the, the body closed before going lower in this fair value gap. So this fair value gap is still valid. You can see later in the 15 in the lower time frame, the lower time frame what I'm referring to. So we in this 15-minute fair value gap. So it is okay to erase the previous previous fair value gap, because we will now focus on the 15-minute fair value gap. So after this one, we shift to 5-minute time frame. So in the 5-minute time frame, what can we see? So what we are seeing here is the close of the candles inside the 15-minute fair value gap. So this is a 5-minute chart, but we are using the 15-minute fair value gap. This is what I'm saying earlier, that even if the candles even if the candles touched outside the 15-minute fair value gap, as long as the candles did not close outside the fair value gap, then the fair value gap is still valid. So as we can see here, uh, it touched at 9:45 and 9:50 candles. So 9:45 and 9:50 candles. So in the 5-minute candles here, first, what do we do here? First, no, first we forget the steps that we should carry out in doing this everyday analysis. So first, the daily bias. So earlier, we have inferred that the daily bias will reach the daily fair value gap high before retracing back lower. So, of course, our daily bias is bullish until reaching daily FVG high. So, this is our daily bias. So, next, number 2. Have we reached an imbalance? Imbalance or inefficiency. Have reached an imbalance or inefficiency? Have reached an imbalance or inefficiency? Yes, we have reached an imbalance or inefficiency. So back to the 4-hour time frame. We are here. It happened in here. So what do you call this imbalance in here? Have we touched this imbalance? Of course, we touched because the price lower in here. So this imbalance, we call it the ISI, or the buy side imbalance, sell side if inefficiency. So why do we call this the buy side imbalance and sell side inefficiency? Buy side imbalance because the price is going higher. This is a bullish candle. And sell side inefficiency because the price failed to correct in here. The price just go higher and higher and higher without retracing back. So this is what you call buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. And sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency is the reverse of what I'm saying. So back to the going to the 15-minute time frame. So we can see that this 15-minute fair value gap is inside the 4-hour fair value gap. So we also have seen a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency in here. So have we reached an imbalance or inefficiency? Yes. Number 3, wait for, excuse me, wait for, wait for an, wait for an entry point. So we are now waiting for an entry point. We are now at the point of waiting for an entry point. Wait for an entry point. So what is our entry point? Our entry point is a fair value gap that has already touched an imbalance or inefficiency, which we have already touched in item number 2. So we are just waiting for an FVG or an optimal trade entry, which happens between 0.618 and 0.786 of the Fibonacci retracement. So going to the 5-minute time frame, going to the 5-minute time frame. So you are here. So have we seen another inefficiency here or imbalance? Yes, there is an imbalance here and an inefficiency, as you can see in here. Yes, there is a 5-minute imbalance. But where is the market structure shift? It's happening. Market structure shift happens in here. Draw a trend line here. So this is the market structure shift, right? This is a market structure shift. Nemesis. Top, center. However, even if there's a market structure shift in here, we need to search for a market structure shift on the lower time frame first. So we go, this is a 5-minute time frame, we go to the 3-minute time frame. Okay, this is Friday. Okay. So this is a 3-minute time frame. So as we can see, the candle goes below the 15-minute fair value gap, but I would still say it is valid because it still closed inside the 15-minute fair value gap in 5-minute time frame. So you can see here there's a fair value gap in here. Okay, there. Okay. You can also see that the price is respected in there and there. So we denote the time, 9:30 time. 9:30 is the opening time for the equities market. This is the opening time, and take note that it is very hard to enter this market here, this time, during this time, because the market is very volatile. So first, in the 3-minute time frame, we can see that the price also respected in here, here, and here, and correcting in here. Then you can see another fair value gap in here, respected by this before going higher. So we also shift to the 1-minute time frame. 1-minute time frame. So as we can see, so 1-minute time frame did give us a good setup in this area. So in the 1 minute, during this 9:30, of course we don't trade the 9:30. Then during this low, we make again another low. So during this low, this is already 950. We have seen another fair value gap in here. We have seen another fair value gap in here. Another fair value gap in here. So after this fair value gap, actually we can delete this 15-minute fair value gap already. This is a 1-minute fair value gap. 1-minute FVG. 1-minute FVG. So we can see the candles market structure shift. This is the market structure shift right there. Right there. Then, so this is the breaker block. This green candle in here. This is a breaker block. And this breaker block is, I think, this breaker block is respected. As you can see here. Soft price, the body this breaker block at most. Then this is the breaker block. So as you can see in here, after this displacement, this fair value gap candle, we have corrected in here and there. So can we enter? Can we enter during this time? Can we enter during this time? Of course, yes, we can enter this time because we already break the sell side imbalance in here. Already break the sell side imbalance in here, and then we made a displacement. We move back to that displacement, to that FVG, and we also respected this breaker block in here, and then we go higher. So we could enter in this area. So totally touched, respected again. So we can make an entry in here, respecting this fair value gap. Then our close should be a few points below this one. Here. There's no problem with that. And our target is the daily FVG high. This is our target. Yes, that is our target, the high of the FVG. So for that trade, how did we make? How did we make it? So for a loss of 41 points, and this amount 23, then we can gain about 257.33. So risk reward ratio of 6.24, and that's very good. So after this entry, we have entered at 956. So what so we go back to 5-minute time frame first. So after this entry, as we can see, we have reached a high in here, so we can take a partial. If we have reached in here, we can take a partial. And then what other levels? So after this one, other levels can we take a partial? I don't think it's okay. It's very far already. Yeah, nothing else. Okay, above this one, above this fair value gap, this high here. Here. Sorry. That's right. Yes, this could make this maybe could be TP number 1, TP number 2, and TP number 3. Yes. However, During the afternoon trade, it failed to reach the daily fair value gap high. It failed to reach the daily fair value gap high, but instead it reached the daily fair value gap high on the next day, 0130 in the morning, New York Eastern Time, New York local time, the next day. So I think during the retracement back at 1600s, we have closed the trade. Yeah, it's still a win, but yeah, we did not close in here, but still a win no matter. So, so in this area here, what other entries can we make? What other entry points can we enter? Mhm. So we have waited for an entry point then. So enter. 5 is stop loss at low of the lower candle of FG and EP at the buy stops or partials at minor buy side liquidity. So we have entered, put our stop loss at the low of the lower candle of FEG and take profit at the buy stops. So our liquidity target, our target is actually not the liquidity area, but the but the high of the daily FBG. So aside from this entry, what where else can we make our entry? So can we make our entry here? Our entry here? Yeah, of course we can make our entry here. We can make our entry here if this after correction and then a certain rejection candle, as long as this candle does not close below this 1 minute fair value gap. So in here after this bullish candle, so we can enter. But again, where's our close? Again, our close would be the low in here. This or this low, no, it will be taken out. It will be taken out. Yeah, before reaching that, no. So it will be taken out. So better put the stop loss below this equal lows in here. So I forgot also to mention that this is also an equal low. This one, this is also relatively equal lows. So not this one, equal lows, right? Bottom. This is also an equal lows in here, so it is also a sell side target. So the next entry, so we enter in here and then stops will be here, then wait till it go up to the daily FVG. So this may be it for the review during this time frame, and we proceed for the Friday for the analysis. for the analysis this last Friday. So we will just continue it here. So we will just move it in here. Okay. This is this inside here is the this inside here is the chart last Friday. Actually, last Friday we have learned something new, and we applied the SMT, or the smart money techniques. Excuse me, I'll just drink some water. I'm back. Sorry. So, last Friday, as I've already said, last Friday at 1 something a.m., we have reached the daily fair value gap high. So what what I was thinking was, maybe this Friday could be a retracement back to at least 80% of the bullish weekly candle, because as I have noted earlier, uh, last 4 days, Monday to Friday, has been a series of bullish candle. So I really thought that after reaching the daily fair value gap higher point, the higher end, this area here, we will retrace back up to 80%. So, but anyway, it did not. So our next target was the equal highs in here, or the buy side liquidity. So we go to the chart of S&P 500. So this is the chart. We go to the 4-hour time frame. Oh, the 15-minute one. 15-minute one. Daily fair value gap high. So yeah, this. So last Friday. This is for last Friday. Don't mind the chart in here. So we will draw last Friday 000. That's it. Then 16:45. So we mark first the open of this. Open of this. Open of the day, which is open 5604.73. Guys, I just want to be accurate when Friday open top right. Okay, this is the open last Friday, and we'll just mark the London high and London low. London open is from 2 o'clock to 5. That's right. C, V, 2 to 5. That's right. This is the London kill zone. This is the London kill zone center. So Going back to the Nasdaq, we will also mark the open last Friday. This is the open last Friday. Next Friday open. Coordinates open 19430.01. Okay, last Friday open. Then we will mark again the London high and low. This is 2 o'clock. It's 6 already. 5. Let's see for V. Next, London Killzone. So this is what happened last Friday. This is the 15-minute chart. So during the London Killzone, London time, during the London time, we go first to the 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Yeah, this line here. During the London Killzone or the London Open, the price reaching here, but without taking out again the daily FVG high. So just reaching there. So reach slow and then trade back again, taking out the high of the London Open. This one. This is the high of the London Open. Taking this out and then going down again. Mark the 930. What I inferred last last Friday during my trade in this area was the market could trade back up to 80% of the weekly candle because from Monday to Thursday there's been a series of up close candles, bullish candles. But what happened was a rally up, which I expect would take out the equal highs or the buy side liquidity, but surely it didn't. So, how do we trade this one? So, into the 15-minute time frame. Okay, 19, I think. This area here. Into the 15-minute time frame. Friday. Okay. So, as we can see in here, 9:30. Sorry, I forgot 9:30 this year. So 9:30 and 9:30. So the 9:30 candle has been a bullish candle, I think, because of the news. This has been the effect of the news. So in this setup, we can see that the on the chart of the S&P 500, there has been unequal lows in here. So this area here and this point in here, this unequal low, as you can see. So you can see the market in the S&P 500 made an equal low in here, whereas on the Nasdaq, it made a what lower low in here. So it made a lower low in here, and it made an equal low in here. So since I have said that we are still aiming we are still aiming for the 80% retracement of the week, because the past 4 days has been a bullish market. So we are aiming for a 50% retracement. However, what happened was, in the Nasdaq, it made a lower low. And then in the S&P 500, it made an equal lows, which means the S&P 500 is stronger. So after it made this scenario in here, after it made the scenario in here, I inferred that the market, after a series of what you call this, after a series of confirmation later, uh, I would infer that the market could still go higher, but S&P 500 is still stronger. So in here, we also made an equal low, equal low, equal low, equal low. So, but in S&P 500, we have made a higher low, higher low. So what can we what can we infer with this one? It means that S&P 500 is stronger. So we trade this stronger one. We trade the stronger one. And as we can see, the S&P 500 still did not reach its daily fair value gap high, whereas the 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 Nasdaq 100 already reached its daily fair value gap high. So it means that the S&P 500 could still reach the daily fair value gap high. So it means that we've got a trade on the S&P 500. So we go to the lower time frame. So upon going to the lower time frame, After 9:30, of course, we will not trade. At 9:30, we will not trade. As a generic rule, if you were to buy lower than the Friday open, and then sell higher than the Friday open. But it's not always it's not always the it's not always the right it's not always the case, because sometimes you have to buy the above the Friday open, depending on the structure of the market. So, is there a buy setup in the S&P 500 here? Is there a buy setup in the 5-minute time frame? It made the it made the I think this is the only one visible. It made a here with respect to this fair value gap. It made the market structure shift in here, strong market structure shift. Yeah, but I think it's only strong market structure shift going down to the fair value gap, respecting it, closing on the upper quadrant, and then taking out the daily fair value gap high above the daily fair value gap high. So, but we will still find another entry on the lower time frame first. So delete this one and delete this one. So on the 3-minute time frame, this is the 3-minute time frame, as we can see. Okay, this is 10 o'clock, this is 9:30, so we have retraced back in here. So at 10 o'clock, I think you can find better chart than the 1-minute time frame. Yes, there is a better chart than the 1-minute time frame. So after the 9:30 run, we have made the 1-minute time frame. We have made a fair value gap in here. Oh, almost exact. This one here. So in the 1-minute time frame, we have seen a fair value gap in here because of the run of this run, and then we could just and then there's also a breaker. So we this is a breaker. These two candles in here. This is a breaker. Not only this one, but the two of them. This is just one candle. This is a breaker. So if we were bullish after this, we could already enter on this breaker here, on this breaker, if we are bullish, and and we are we are surely longing for the price to go higher and not correcting below this one. Yeah, it's okay. But for me, my entry, if it really touch this fair value gap in here, and then I would go long. It's just I would go long. If it touch this fair value gap in here. This has been a very tough trade for me, because after this displacement here, there's no more retracement to the fair value gap, and this is the only retracement left, as you can see. So this is a very hard trade, right? It's a very hard trade. But if you have got this one and you have put a buy stops in here, you put a buy stops in here, so you could have got this trade. But if not, So it's also okay because this candle could take out this low also. Yeah, it's still okay. So we will just find another entry point. Okay, but if you have got this one, let's say you have long in here, put a buy stops in here, stops there, 5 pips, not bad, not bad, 5 pips, put it in there, and then take out the daily FVG high. Oh, that's right, you could have gotten a 27 pips and 4.7 risk to reward ratio. That would be good, that would be good. And then the high was taken out before 12. Yeah, before 12. So aside from this one, after this closing here, okay, okay, the breaker here is also respected. This one, this mitigation block in here is also respected. So it means that it's just a retracement. And then if we draw an optimal trade entry, yeah, right, fib retracement. Ooh, as we can see in here, yes, right, surely it is inside. As you can see, 6 to 8. Right. So you can see it is inside. It is inside the fib retracement, the 0.618 level, between 0.618 and 786 level. So it is also an optimal trade entry. So yeah, this is a good price. This is a good place to enter also. This is a good place to enter also. And then also we have also shown that wait, we have also shown that this mitigation block here is respected, and then there's also a fair value gap in here, just correcting this fair value gap, closing in this consequent encroachment. Yeah, this is a good entry here, and then target is still the daily fair value gap high. Yeah, so a good entry in here. Fair value gaps plus optimal trade entry using fib retracement. Yeah, that's just it. Another one. And here also, this one, market structure shift again. After this one, we have we've already discussed this earlier, and then correct retracing on the fair value gaps. Then right there, right there, closing inside. Yeah, still can measure it by how much? 10 pips. Not good. Not bad, not bad. 10 pips. Not bad. And then just taking this, just making a stop on this one. But so, what have we learned for? Excuse me. What have we learned during this uh, Friday price action? So during last Friday's price action, first we have we have made a what you call this, a divergence between Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500. We have discovered the divergence. And then as we look at the Nasdaq, we discovered the lower low before the 9:30 open. Before, prior and on the 9:30 open. Whereas on the Nasdaq, we have seen an equal lows. And during 10:01 and 10:29, it further established that the S&P 500 will still go higher because the Nasdaq made a relatively equal lows in the relatively equal lows. So it means that it will still wait for the S&P 500 to strike the daily FVG high. So that's why we have a trade in here. We have a trade in here. We have opened a trade in here. We have opened here. We have also here. We have also opened in here. So this could be a very long trade in the morning from 10 o'clock in the morning to 11:48. So from 10 o'clock to 11:48, that would be 1 hour and 48 minutes, reaching 27.20 pips. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of points, considering that our target for the week is only 50 to 75 pips. Yes. So that's it for today, and tomorrow we will be reviewing the chart. Today, tomorrow we'll be reviewing the chart, the price action that happened today. So see you